because they like door openers naturally just want to, flow all kinds of ideas to people. Like they're the really long emails with lots of different sections. And oh my gosh, what about this other thing? Oh, I can't wait to share this too. Yahoo!
Hey, aloha, and welcome to our show. What is a marketing archetype? Am I saying that right? I hope so. Today's guest, Christina Frei, owner of Innate Marketing Genius, has helped thousands of business owners discover their archetype to learn more about their marketing motivations and how that translates into compelling content for their small business. Welcome to the 15-ish minute coffee chat and podcast with Anna and Selena. 11 seasons. 11 seasons, Anna.
11 seasons. We're so glad to be here today. And our guest, I cannot wait for this conversation.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
We took a quiz to get ready for this. And so you guys get to know all of our results and how that all fits into marketing archetypes, right?
I know. So, we're excited for season 11. And I'm going to just bring up our guest bio so Anna can go ahead and share who this fabulous person is.
Yes. And while Selena is doing that, I do want to say, drop your answer down in the chat because we have a call to action. Do you know what a marketing archetype is? So while I'm telling you about our amazing guest today, drop in the chat. Do you know what it is? Give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down, give me a yes or a no, whatever it takes. Okay. So Christina Frei, owner of Innate Marketing Genius, runs a boutique marketing practice where she helps solo business owners own their voice, market to their strengths, and get to the right clients consistently. Her holistic marketing approach grew out of a lonely, chaotic time when she moved to Boston all on her own and discovered her own way to really connect with people. Now, personally, she is on a mission to live more sustainably. She is obsessed with thrift shopping and is a new convert to plant-based eating. In between, she chases her dog around with a stuffed animal snake, meditates on a pink couch, and cold plunges like Wim Hof all year long, and obsesses over the perfect cup of green tea, all in a seaside town just north of Boston. So, Christina, we're super excited to have you on the show. I'm going to just bring you up so we can get started.
All right. It's official.
It's official.
It's official. You're an official guest now of the 15-ish minute coffee chat. Thanks so much for being here, Christina.
Yeah, great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yes. Okay. So we love to get started with a coffee cup selfie because that's just 103 coffee cup selfies. Anna, can you believe it?
I know. Yeah.
So here's ours with Christina. We're going to just go with our cups and we're going to see. Oh, she brought a ticket. What does it say?
It says love.
You are deeply loved.
Oh, that's such a good thought for the day, right?
I know. We haven't even taken it.
Loved.
Yes. Okay, guys.
Soul. They felt it in their soul.
On 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I just always imagine an imaginary photographer, Christina, that just kind of snaps a picture for us. Okay, welcome to the show. Anna, let's dive in. We're gonna shuffle things around and put you in the interview.
I know. Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about marketing archetypes. All right. Mm-hmm. If you have not heard that term before, our very first question really is going to be, what is a marketing archetype, Christina?
Yeah, so it turns out that pretty much everybody has a deep motivation, a deep why in service to other humans, right? There's all these kinds of assessment tools where you can find out about yourself, like what makes me tick and what do people find fascinating about me. And this is really about, when am I the most alive in service to other people? And you might ask yourself, is that marketing? And I say, heck yeah, it's marketing, because it's you getting out there and connecting with people that you can serve and help. So it totally affects how you communicate. So that's, I can tell you the backstory of how I discovered them, but that's pretty much it's like your lane of service, your favorite way of helping humans in a very general way.
So that is such a unique way of looking at marketing as service to others, right? Like normally it's about selling or it's about connecting or whatever, but you're saying it goes beyond that, where you're actually providing something. I mean, that is marketing, right? You're providing something that somebody needs, right?
Yeah. And I have found that if we don't really tap into that motivation, then you have a wonderful marketing plan that looks really good in Microsoft Word or wherever you created it, and it never gets done. So it's not just, oh, isn't this nice that I'm working for my motivation? It's also practical. Are you going to do it?
Yeah.
Man,
Yes.
right? That's the question. Are you going to do it? Yeah,
So
no, go ahead.
Okay, so tell us, what are the marketing archetypes that you've discovered? I mean, to kind of take us through that process and what it is. And then we can share the ones, because this is where Selena and I took the quiz to discover what our marketing archetypes are. You're going to get that chance to do this too. So, okay.
So there are 5 main categories, and you can be sort of a combo pack of 2. But anyway, so it's nurturers, adventure guides, door openers, steady presences, and celebrators. If you're a nurturer, your deepest why is that you want to make it safe for others to thrive. If you're an adventure guide, you see what's possible before we do, and you enable us to go for these bold goals, like really big, bold goals. If you're a door opener, you thrive on all the different ways of looking at something. You're just this natural educator and have tons of perspectives. If you're a steady presence, you are a deep treasure trove of resources, expertise, and people that you know. And your deepest why is that you can get people from here to there, no matter how bad things are. And then the celebrator, your deep why is that people live the good life. You absolutely love bringing the good life yourself, and you do it with your own special flair, whether it's humor or design sense or just flat out fun. So those are the 5.
Okay. So Selena, when you took the test, what were you?
So I was a nurturer and a celebrator, but and now I got to just double check and look at my results, because I remember that Anna said she was a door knocker. And when I was like, oh, what does that mean? A door opener.
Door knocker.
That's a whole nother archetype. That's not part of this.
We can go there,
guys. Door opener. I swear I've heard you say door knocker all the time, or this whole conversation, and I realized door opener. So yeah, you got our results. I'm so curious, Christina, like if you could share a little bit about, Anna and I shared the nurturer is what I believe you just said, right? So what does that mean? Like, like together, working together as business partners and whatnot, how would you say nurturers working together? How can that happen? And how does that work?
Yeah, well, let's just break down what nurturers really bring to the table. So a nurturer, and this is something I cover in a talk I give called Marketing for Humans. And it's basically, you offer sanctuary. Even just by walking in the room, you make people feel more calm and safe. And it's, you're an easy community builder. You really the gift of this is that you can actually talk about things that people might be suffering through. And because you're such a safe space, people are like, okay, just tell me the straight story. And I'll listen to you. Right. And you're very empathetic. So that's what a nurturer brings to the table. I don't come at this from a organizational development perspective. However, I would imagine that when nurturers are together, it is very warm and fuzzy. Everybody's taken care of. Maybe there's some challenges with boundaries sometimes. That's where good communication comes in.
Are you feeling warm and fuzzy right now, Christina?
For sure.
Yeah. And she called us out, and I'm like, yeah, me and Anna have no boundaries, because look, we're not just business partner besties. We are true besties in life as well. And there are no boundaries for us, which Christina, you're saying can sometimes be a little bump, right?
It's fun, but sometimes there might be some talks to have,
Yeah. Well, I think what I found interesting, so as a door opener, not a door knocker, but as a door opener, when I got my archetype kind of like breakdown, one of the things it talked about was really loving to educate and make sure people had all the information. And that being one of those things that a door opener does. And it resonated so much with me when I read through that. I'm like, yes, this is why the content I put out, or the content I try and put out, has that kind of a focus on it, is because I'm an educator. I want people to know so then they can make smart decisions. And then on that nurturing side, I want them to feel good and positive and empowered and comfortable with then making that step once that decision's been done. So I love how when I did get those results, I was able to kind of see, for me as a marketer, that path that I do like to take my clients on. So I found it really, really helpful. So, which is going to bring us to our second question, which is, how does understanding the marketing archetype help a business owner create that compelling content?
Yeah, this is the fun part. So it's nice to sort of have this aha moment about, okay, yeah, that resonates. That's great. And then it's time to put it to work. So here is what I have come up with as far as, I'll do kind of a two-pronged answer for each archetype, meaning how do you tell a story and what are some questions that would help you generate content, like email ideas, social media ideas, like just all of it, right? So it'll pretty much touch on all that. So I'll start with nurturers. So for a nurturer, because you're such a lovely, calming presence, as I mentioned before, you can go straight to the suffering, meaning it's like, I see you. I see what is hard. And here's what I notice about it. And then you walk people through a story, your own or whoever you're working with, where you took people through that using whatever your magic is to get through to a place of thriving. That is how a nurturer tells a story beautifully every time. It's just a basic story structure. The questions, the activation questions, are as follows, and they're a little wonky, but you'll see why. So number one is, what are you making it safe for people to, what are you protecting people from? And what are you protecting people for? So you're like this natural, like, I just want to make it safe. But then what is it you're making it safe from? Like, what are those monsters? And then what would it look like for your people to thrive? And then the last question for nurturers is, how do you like to generate sanctuary? Because you have your own way of doing that. How are you making it safe? Maybe it's in the way that you educate, which Anna, you were pointing to, like the way that you craft your emails or any of the programs that you do. Probably you're very nurturing in how you educate at all. So that might be one way you bring sanctuary. So those are 3 activation questions, and then the way to tell a story for a nurture. I could go through all 5 of them, but I'm just going to stop there because I don't want to go on and on.
I love exactly what you're explaining. I'm going to just share, right? I do a red lipstick and boots content series. And it's where I always wanted to wear red lipstick in my life, but I've been too scared to do it. And then I decided to do it. And I invite people to come on and be bold and confident in something that they're not. You just explained what I'm sharing the story. I'm sharing why I'm scared, why I put it on. I mean, now you're telling me I'm going in the path that a nurturer does. It
sounds like it.
Yeah.
Would you say, Christina, that people are naturally drawn down that content path simply because that's part of their personality and kind of even if they're not consciously aware of it being their archetype or, in that sense, are they drawn to that just naturally?
I have not noticed either way, because I have seen people come to me, let's say they're a door opener. Door openers tend to have tons and tons of ideas, right? And so the challenge for a door opener is to slow it down, go take your dog on a walk, like really land on the one thing that you want to be talking about or addressing at any given time. And then you offer some kind of innovative way to share that or figure that out. And so if you were to ask me, like, is that what they're naturally drawn to? Heck no, because they, like, door openers naturally just want to, flow all kinds of ideas to people. Like, they're the really long emails with lots of different sections. And, oh my gosh, what about this other thing? Oh, I can't wait to share this too. Yahoo. And I would say I'm reining that in so that we can actually take in what you're sharing one little bite at a time.
It's like you've been in my inbox. You've been in my brain. I do have to, this is funny because I do find as a door opener, I do have to rein it in, the long emails, the over explanations. Like sometimes Selena's like, we don't need to put half of that in there. You do not have to go step by step. These are brilliant, smart people that were sending these emails. In my head, I'm like, but if they have all the information, there's no questions and they know exactly what to do and how to do it.
That's assuming they're actually going to read through it all.
Right.
That's part two, right? Because I'm the reader. I'm the one. I'm the one that is going to read the entire long email. It is very interesting to me, this conversation about even just understanding a little bit more about that marketing archetype, how it will help you in crafting that content, just like what you were talking about. If you know the types of stories, and then maybe some of the pitfalls as well as the positives that come with being that archetype.
Well, I'll tell you one. I'm actually going to jump over to steady presence for a second because steady presences are the ones that avoid marketing the most. So I'm just going to go down that path for a second. So a steady presence typically is someone who's just loves to geek out about what they do and how they help people. And they do it every day. They're the ones that want to go deeper into the material. They're the ones that actually should be writing the long emails, frankly. The way that they tell a story is simply by sharing a resource. Sharing, like, this is the absolute perfect scenario for a steady presence. Go to a conference related to your work, nerd out with all your peeps, really deep dive, and then come back and share about that all. And if you're worried that it's going over our heads, it is, but we don't care because we're like, wow, this person really knows their stuff. If I need help in that area, I know who to call, even if I'm not going to understand every word out of their mouth. So their pitfall, I would say, is trying to market like everybody else and keeping it short and sweet, / not wanting to market in the first place because they think they have to be charismatic the way that maybe celebrators and adventure guides and whatever. I'm not saying everyone's not charismatic, but there's a certain kind in marketing that we're all supposed to be. You guys kind of have it. I mean, so yay for you. But not everyone needs that to just do this like, yahoo, we love everyone. Like that's not every marketer.
No, it's not. And it's not every client, right? Not every client wants a marketer coming at him like, hi, I want to be your best friend. Let's be best friends and I'm going to show you the way. Right? Like they are like, some people are just like, no, I don't want to be your best friend. I just want to give me the plan, implement it, get it done. Right? Like, and that's going to be a different marketing archetype that's going to take that and run with it and do a good job of it. I feel like.
I honestly, I love when we have shows like this where guests bring on, where you understand yourself better. Because I think the more you understand yourself, the better you can be for just your personal life and for your business. Like I'm already thinking Anna's a door knocker, / opener, and what that means. And then I don't know, you just made me think to myself, like, I think Anna, you and I are like our golden retriever marketers, right? We just like love the life and we're like, all in there. I don't know. I'm so fascinated, like by all the things. I
think if you put the three together, right? Okay. So, I mean, all we have here on this show. Well, I am going to ask you, Christina, what is your marketing archetype? Can I ask?
Actually, Anna, I'm just like you. I'm a nurturer with a side of door opener.
Okay. So then the three of us here on this show, I feel like the way that it's Selena's being a celebrator is almost like, we're providing the information, we're educating, we're making that safe space, and then we're bringing in the big party while we're at it.
It's fun. It's fun. And it's also, again, I always like to bring it back to, because it's so easy to be like, well, if you're a celebrator, that means you're a walking party all day long. And it's really more about, Selena, if you were to really isolate what drives you every day, it's you love making people's lives better, like to just up level the good life factor for them. And so sometimes it's going to be a day where you're just like, yay. And sometimes it'll be different. Maybe you're just going to be kind of a little weirdo expressing yourself in a new way. Like, I don't know.
No, it's funny. It's funny you said that because as we were talking about it and I'm rereading again what the celebrator is, right? And I'm like, that is the extroverted me. And I like to say I'm an extroverted introvert or an introverted extrovert. But usually when I go hard on celebrator mode, I have to like decompress a little bit and like refuel so I can be celebrator once more. So like you're right. I don't do celebrator 24/7 all the time. Anna knows, she'll be like, I just want to make sure you're alive. You haven't answered anything on anywhere. And she knows when I'm in burnout mode.
I actually have a question for you guys, because there's something I'm doing behind the scenes right now that I want to just sort of float your way and see what you think. So I'm actually, believe it or not, using ChatGPT to create hybrid emails, meaning let's say you're a nurturer and a celebrator. So then I tell that to ChatGPT, like, this is what that looks like. Please give me a combined description of the two using both strengths and how that could actually play out, and give me some identity names for that person, right? And so one of the things that I've discovered in doing this, because I'm doing a whole bunch of like, you're going to get a bunch of emails now that you just took those the assessment, just to tell you how lovely you are and what to do with it. But I want someone who's a nurture celebrator to get a specific set of emails just for them. So one thing I've thought about is, you know, the different ways you could be a nurture celebrator, just to focus on that one for a second. So for example, and I'm just curious, Selena, which ones really resonate with you. So let's say as a nurture celebrator, you're somebody who you love giving that nourishing safety to people, but the way you do it needs to have some kind of pizzazz, right? Like if you're going to take people to a yoga studio, that yoga studio needs to have, you know, huge ribbons hanging from the ceiling, or maybe it's going to be like a circus yoga class. You know what I'm saying? So there's like a nourishing aspect, but then a flair. The other way that you could be one is the opposite, where, let's have a huge party and let's like live up life and let's lead into celebrator mode. And I want to make sure that every piece of it is just deliciously nourishing. So like a photo I came up with for you guys is an outdoor garden party where everybody is having, like, they're laughing and they're having a great time. I actually did this on Midjourney, which is the AI generator, right? The image generator. And I just asked it to give like this nourishing garden party where people are having a great time, but it's super cozy and welcoming. So that's the, right? So there's like different ways that a nurture celebrator energy can interface. And then the last option is they're just parallel. Sometimes you're nurture, sometimes you're celebrator. They don't really impact each other. So you see how I can just go down this nerding rabbit hole around like what this could mean, but it's just something I'm working on behind the scenes. And I'm curious if that, you know, if it resonates, if anything comes up for you around that. 100%
resonates. Like, I can't wait for those particular emails to kind of come my way so I can, but yes, actually I'm from Hawaii. So there's always like a tropical vibe. So I kind of love that you did say garden, because it's outdoors. We love the mountain. We're one with the lands. So I love that. I will say this, though. It has to be cool, Christina, because like I get hot really fast.
I promise this garden is cool. There's no palm trees.
That's my only thing. Anybody that knows me knows I run very hot. I have to live in AC. Like, you know what I mean? Like when I pass away, I'll probably have to have AC in my coffin just because, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how hot I run.
Okay. And then Anna, for you, what I'm playing with is, if you're a nurturer with a door opener side, then the way that you provide that sanctuary is going to have a little bit of an innovative edge. Like, that's one way to go. One image that I came up with is this beautiful spa with like a fountain, but it looks like super cutting edge with like glass, you know, I don't know, it almost looks like an office building, but not cold. Like, so there's this innovation happening plus the nourishment. So that's one angle. The other one is, you know, you're like mad scientist, brilliant, but your science lab is super cozy, right? So like, you're there to come up with a million ideas with a mug of hot chocolate, with a nice cozy chair to sit in. So again, you can lean harder. Like, it's what you lead with. If you're leading with door opener, you're going to be, I'm just using these metaphorically, you're going to be in a science lab coming up with tons of ideas, but then the nurture comes in behind it to kind of give it a flavor. Yeah. And then the opposite is the nurture leads, and then the door opener is like the innovative side of the spa. So again, completely nerding out. Not sure if that resonates with you.
I mean, I'm not even Anna, but I know what one I would pick for Anna.
I do resonate with both of those descriptions that you gave. It reminds me when Selena and I were first looking at branding for the Anna and Selena brand. This is a couple of years ago. The image I found, we're wearing these like flowy, comfy dresses on a beach, right? Because that kind of incorporates both of us, but I'm dragging her out in the water, right? Where I'm taking her on this like adventure out into the ocean. It's like just two girls in these flowy, comfy dresses, like holding hands, going out into the big, vast water, like ready to kind of like hit like the next step. That's what you just described reminded me of, right?
Okay, yeah.
Like that idea of like, definitely feeling comfortable and happy in my space, but wanting that and to level it up with either an adventure of some kind or something creative or something that's like unexpected, maybe.
I will also jump in and just say my version of it that I just from a personal standpoint, because I'm also a nurturer with a side of door opener, is I'm really on a health path where I've discovered a lot of ways to just nourish myself. But guess what? The thing that makes me the happiest about it all is that I have found these super innovative, completely effective tools or resources, people, whatever. I'm just like, it has to be the cutting edge of nurturing. So like I have this amazing energy healer. I have these incredible herbs for my, perimenopause or whatever, like that. And they are the best and the leading, like it's just always at the edge, always at the edge. It's not, I mean, yes, I also love the whole like mason jars and, all the good, like, right. The old fashioned garden vibes, right?
Yes.
Cottagecore. But honestly, I'm much more about like, let's make sure this is the latest and greatest, but it's also nurturing at the end of the day.
I love that. Yeah. I feel like we're very similarly designed in that aspect, that and that cozy innovation. Yes. I love
cozy
that.
innovation. I mean,
I love that.
Yeah. This conversation has been so much fun. Like seriously, it gets me excited about going and being like, what's going to be my next piece of content, right? Like,
I know I'm going to be constantly thinking in the back of my head, like, what would Christina say about this particular path I went down today? Like,
yes.
This is fascinating, and I think this is like so important. Important. I'm saying it's important. I'm celebrating. Here I am, Christina. I'm celebrating. Gosh, you hit it on the nail. Like, I love to have a nurturing, but I love the pizzazz of it all. I really think this is great for people's personal development to know this and like read into this. So I really, really encourage you. We're going to go to our toolkit here in a minute because Christina is going to share how you can find out. And I'm so curious. I need you to like post a story on Instagram, share something on LinkedIn, and tell us what your archetype is, and tag Christina, tag Anna, tag myself, because I'm really curious amongst people that listen and friends who we all are. And it's kind of, Anna smiled so hard, Christina, when you said like you're a nurturer and you want to make sure everybody's safe, but you have that little pizzazz. And Anna knows, like, I'm like, oh, if we go to a yoga, you're right. It needs to be like yoga.
It needs to be
just
extra.
yoga.
Selena brings the extra into our relationship where I'm like, this is fine. She's like, no, it's not. We need a little more.
Just a little bit more.
Yeah.
So,
but it is good. Yeah, it is. There is an interesting, and I'm just for you, Christina, like moving forward, there is an interesting organizational aspect to what you do.
Oh my
Maybe that's where, you take it next after you kind of refine your dual archetype names and kind of that email series that you're working on. So, okay, let's show our toolkit. Let's tell everyone how they can find their own marketing archetype.
Yes. Okay, let's see. All right, Christina, let everybody know, what is this they're looking at? And
So this is a 35 question assessment where in about 5 to 7 minutes, you answer a bunch of questions and you'll discover your own archetype. And let me say this quiz, it is meant to help you, of course, but it's also meant to challenge you a little bit, because it asks you to say no to a few things that might sound nice. So I'm just inviting you to be really honest with yourself. Are you really the person that is, doing all the good things? And let yourself be honest about what you don't want to do in service to others.
You're so right. I did struggle with some of those no's. I was like, ooh, but yeah. So
I did too. And I found myself, because you see that there's 4 dots across it, I found myself wanting to stay in the middle too, and not force myself one direction or another. Like, I wonder, anyway, it was a good experience. And they're not the kind of questions you think you might find when you're going through marketing. They're not marketing. How do you market kinds of questions? They really are about your characteristics as a person, your belief systems, that kind of thing. So we're going to drop in our blog, annandselena.com/blog. You are going to find the recap of today's show, including the links to go and do your marketing archetype and how you can connect with our guest, which is what we're going next.
Yes. Hold on. I was so excited. Let's see here. Okay. There we go. Okay. Let everybody know where you'd like for them to find you, Christina.
Sure. So my website is innatemarketinggenius.com. And I do have a YouTube channel there. I'm not super active on that, but I also am on Facebook. And frankly, under Innate Marketing Genius, I'm also on Instagram. If you're going to go on Instagram and create stories, it's just Christina K. Frei, first and last name, and middle initial is K. So I would love that.
Okay. Yeah. We will make sure to add that into the show notes, guys. So if you're watching this show, we'll make sure it's on the blog. We'll add that in there. Because I think you should tag us all.
Yes.
Everywhere.
Whatever platform you're in. And I am in your YouTube channel. Do you kind of touch on some of the marketing archetypes and kind of talk a little bit more about them?
I wish I could tell you that I'm active on there. I basically post videos of different podcasts I've done in the past. Okay. So that's what you'll find there.
Yeah. Awesome.
Right. Okay. Well,
all right. I know this has been such a good conversation.
I know.
Thank you for being our amazing guest today.
Yeah.
I'm excited with what I can do with what you've taught us today.
Yes.
And being a marketing professional, I mean, that's what I do for other clients, right? Like, it's not often you hear something that's new and maybe a little inspiring. So I appreciate you bringing this to the table for us, for our guests.
You're welcome. You're so welcome. Thanks so much for having me.
No problem. All right, guys, we'll catch you on the next show. Aloha, mahalo, all the things.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.